everybody, it's episode 207 of PodQuest.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday, August 15th, 2018, and I am Chris. With me is Drootin.
We're in my house this time.
Yeah. Walnut decided he just didn't want to show up this week.
I gotta clean and shit and...
Was that his reason? I just saw him say, I want to cancel. Did he actually give a reason afterwards?
Yeah, he said he needed to clean the house to have it ready for photographs to be taken.
Oh, right, because he's doing that whole selling his house thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes... I will give him a little bit more of a pass on that then. Just like a small one, though. I have to adjust this microphone. It's pointed too low.
You do that. There you go.
That's better. Picks it up a little bit more, like, in front of me.
Yeah, it usually helps.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, there was some news this week.
Yeah, a little bit.
Not much, like, game-related stuff. Though, there was some Doom Eternal gameplay shown.
There was.
And it looks like a lot more Doom, which I am okay with.
I hear there's a sword and shit now.
Yeah, like, on the armor.
Right.
It untucks from his arm, it looks like.
So almost like Assassin's Creed wristblade-ish?
Except it's Assassin's Creed wristblade mixed with, like, Baraka.
Okay.
Because it's like a full blade that stays out. It's not just that little, like, pin blade that Assassin's Creed had. Did you watch the footage?
No, I did not yet.
I mean, so it looks like Doom 2016.
Right.
Only it's on Earth, so everything looks like something you would know, but turned to hell.
Okay.
Literally. It looks like I forget what they were called, the glory kills?
Yeah.
Is that what they were called?
Yep.
It looks like, at least in the footage they showed, those are tuned down some. They're a little quicker. They weren't as visceral.
Okay.
And I also didn't notice if health was actually pouring out of it. That doesn't necessarily mean that's not how it'll work, though, since I don't think there was a date given with it.
No.
Not that I saw anywhere, anyway. So this game is probably still a little ways off, so who knows how complete that footage was. It looks good, though.
Doom 2016 was fucking fantastic.
And the guns almost, like, I don't think it's necessarily this is the case, but the guns that they had in the video almost looked, like, customizable, like, interchangeable.
Okay.
Like,
there was a little bit of customization in Doom 2016.
So not in, like, menus, not where, like, you'd run through a menu and, like, add, like, damage or, like, a modifier to the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he changed the gun, and it literally, like, at least this is what I saw. He, like, twisted the barrel off and put a different barrel on as he was running and shooting.
Okay.
So, like, he turned, like, an assault rifle into a shotgun or something. That isn't what happened, but it was almost that sort of... At least that's what it looked like to me.
So, the Wolfenstein has had that in those games. Not quite, like, switching off barrels, but you could, like, flip up or down a scope, and it would, change the rifle from a full auto assault rifle to a semi-auto sniper rifle.
Okay.
Type thing. So maybe they're stealing a little bit of that tech.
Yeah, that sounds like it could be it. But the footage did look good.
Cool.
Like, I am happy to play more Doom.
Same.
Did you play all of it?
Yeah, I beat it. I beat it in like a fucking weekend.
Yeah, like it...
I fucking housed that game. It was so good.
Yeah, I don't think I finished it, but I know I got fairly far before something else came out that sort of pulled my attention away, which is what tends to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of that.
Yeah.
There was also the Red Dead Redemption 2 gameplay. Did you happen to watch that?
No.
I didn't either, just because I have zero
Same
interest in Red Dead. And it's not that I think Red Dead's a bad game. I never played it. So I have got no opinion on it at all.
Same. I haven't really played much of anything Rockstar puts out.
Yeah, like
it's just not the kind of games I like.
Yeah, like I played a very small amount of Grand Theft Auto 4 in 2008 when that came out.
Sure, that sounds about right.
And that was mostly just goofing around. Like I've mentioned it before, but that was the game where there was a weird glitch where if you put a car in a swing set and did something to it, the car would just rocket into the air.
Nice.
From like a standstill. Like it was a really weird little glitch in the game. We used to do it while at GameStop. Because what else are you going to do while you're working there? But yeah, people seem happy about it, I guess.
Sure.
Everything else that I've listened to where people were talking about Red Dead, they seemed pleased with what they saw. But these were mostly people that had some sort of familiarity with the first game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that'll be a thing that comes out. There's also... So have you seen this Nintendo fan theory?
No. Or is this about...
Luigi?
Okay, no.
So, you watched the Nintendo Direct, right?
Oh, most of it.
So you at least saw the beginning of it.
Yeah,
When the Grim Reaper rips Luigi's soul from his body.
Yes.
So the fan theory is Luigi is dead.
Uh-huh.
And the single-player mission of Smash Brothers, if there is one, is going to be the player trying to rescue Luigi's soul and put it back in his body.
Okay, so that would lend... I don't know what way that fan theory is working with the... in that Nintendo Direct, there was a blurred out mode that they said they couldn't talk about right now.
And
someone has apparently been able to decipher what was in that image, and apparently that mode is called Spirits.
Exactly.
So...
And that the Direct did end with another shot of Luigi's soul and him trying to, like, wake his body up, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then it shows the weird moon crying thing outside.
Right.
Nintendo, though, is claiming that Luigi isn't dead. It
I did see
assures
that.
fans that Luigi is not dead. I think that would be kind of cool, though, because I don't think Smash Brothers on Wii U had any sort of story mode. Like, the single player was just fighting through the ranks.
Yeah, the last one was in Brawl, had Subspace Emissary.
Yeah, which, that one was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually a story that took you through all the different characters. And I actually liked Adventure Mode in Melee, too. I thought that was a neat thing to do. Like, it wasn't anything really special, but it was just something different to do in the game. It's kind of the same way the single player is in Splatoon. Like, it's nothing special, but it's just kind of like a neat thing to do outside of the multiplayer.
Yeah.
If they can do another Subspace Emissary-esque thing, though, like, I'd be down for that. Not that I plan on necessarily buying Smash Brothers, but I would definitely be more inclined with something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The only other game news that I have, I don't know if you have anything. Blizzard apparently has multiple Diablo projects in the works.
Well, I do have something that piggybacks off of that.
Okay.
Forbes accidentally leaked the existence, or the confirmation of the existence of Diablo 3 on Switch.
Did they?
Yes.
I did not see that anywhere.
Yeah, so they posted it, that Jason Schreier from Kotaku then tweeted, well, Forbes leaked it, so here it is, and posted a tweet about it. And so Forbes has since deleted their post. Kotaku has a story up. It was apparently supposed to be unveiled tomorrow. I don't know why tomorrow.
Yeah, it's Thursday, which, like, Nintendo usually does Tuesday and Friday for their announcements.
I mean, it might have been Blizzard making this announcement.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't know why I assumed it was Nintendo.
But it's going to be the Eternal Collection, which is out on everything else now.
Yeah.
Which gets you the base game, the expansion, and the Rise of the Necromancer. So the Necromancer character.
Yeah.
Also, it'll apparently have a special set of armor that makes you look like Ganondorf.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know what exactly it looks like, because I'm just reading the article and there's no image of it in the Kotaku article. We'll have, 4 players, same machine co-op, 4 player, separate switches without internet co-op and online co-op. $60 comes out later this year. I think that's the only thing the Forbes article didn't say was the exact release date, which I guess we'll probably find out tomorrow if that's the case.
Yeah, how much did you just say it was? 60?
60.
If it was not $60, I would totally buy it. Just like, I'm all for playing Diablo on Switch, but it's a 6-year-old game at this point.
Yep.
Not paying full price for it. Like, did that twice already. So, and even then, I don't think Reaper of Souls was full price on PS4. I don't think it was a $60 game, or at least I bought it on a sale.
Maybe, yeah.
And we all know that game will never be on sale on a Switch. If anything, it'll drop in price everywhere else and then go up $5 on the Switch. It's fucking Nintendo tax.
No, that's... Yeah, I don't know why they were going to announce this tomorrow, according to the article. But, yeah, Blizzard saying they have a bunch of Diablo stuff in the works will make BlizzCon interesting this year.
Yeah, and I know the community manager or whoever the lady was that was in the video talking about Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
She specifically said that they have some things that they are not going to be able to announce for a long time, which is probably a Diablo 4. Because, what was it? When did Lords of Destruction come out? 2002?
I think 2001.
I thought it was a 2-year gap. I don't have internet.
June 27th, 2001.
Wow. For some reason, I thought that was a 2002 release. So, if they can't... I'm trying to think. So, it's 2018 now. If they're not going to announce it for a while, it'll probably get announced maybe next year for like a 2020 release, which would put it, what is that? 9 years since Diablo 3 proper launch?
Diablo 3 proper was
2012?
April 2012.
Yeah,
or May 2012. One of those.
So 8 years is close enough to a decade. 2 years shy of it, whereas the last one was 2 years past it, or 1 year past it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think it's about time for a Diablo 4. Because what are they on season like 18 or 19?
I don't know if it's... I want to say it's 16, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I thought it was higher than that. Well, I mean, you would know better than I do because you've actually played in the recent times.
Yeah, I want to say the last one I did was 16.
That was a few months ago, I think. Now,
yeah, that was like last month.
Okay, so they're probably coming up on season 17 then.
I could be. Let's see if their website says. Oh no. Okay, when is this article? Okay, June was season 14.
Oh wow, we were both wrong.
So 15 will be the next one coming up.
Okay, yeah. For some reason, it feels like it should be higher than that.
Although 14's still going on, probably till I'll bet the end of this month.
How long do the seasons usually run for?
Actually, this article, the Q&A has it. So this season runs until September 16th. So
okay.
2 months, 3 months. June 15th to September 16th. I feel like it was a little longer than normal.
It might be. Maybe because they're trying to lead up to like something big. Maybe at BlizzCon they'll announce another expansion. Maybe.
Because I don't know what they would do with a Diablo 4, but I also don't know what they would do with an expansion.
You're going to fight Diablo again, obviously.
Other than that. That would be what happens if they do Diablo 4. I don't know if they do another expansion, other than put in another old character or something.
Look, let's look at it this way. World of Warcraft just released its latest expansion. I believe that's its expansion 8. So is it Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, Mists of Pandaria, Legion, Warlords of Draenor, Legion. So this is expansion 7, is Battle for Azeroth, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
They've just gone back to the basics. It's now just back to Horde versus Alliance. So at a certain point, you make it Diablo 4, you just make it Diablo 1 again.
Yeah, but they did, they did that Diablo 1 mode in Diablo 3.
Which is all the more reason to actually just literally kind of take it back to... Wasn't Diablo 1 just a single dungeon?
Yeah, it's 120 or 16 floor dungeon, something like that.
So you do something similar like that, like have your character in a single dungeon, but have it way more expansive.
Yeah.
Or even have it traverse across realms. Like go from like the normal mortal realm to like the demon realm or whatever the fuck lore is in that game.
Well, that sort of happens in the first game. Like you start in the cathedral and you just keep going down and eventually wind up in hell.
Okay, I've never actually played Diablo 1. I just know the gist of it.
Diablo 1's fucking cool because it's way different than 2 and 3 are.
Yeah, it was kind of ahead of its time too.
Kind of. And like the thing about Diablo 1 that has made me, since Diablo 3 has come out and gotten like fucking real good, has made me appreciate 1 more than like put 1 over 2 in my order of the favorites in them. So it's 3, 1, 2. Is that 1 is so different and not reliant on skills really, because like there's no skill tree in Diablo 1.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there are 3 classes. They have a unique ability each. The warrior can repair equipment. But when using that ability, it suffers a permanent like max durability loss. the wizard can recharge staves, and I believe they lose a little bit of their maximum charges. And then the rogue can unlock traps.
Okay.
But the rogue shoots bows faster. The sorcerer uses staves faster, and the warrior has quicker attacks with all the other melee weapons. But otherwise, like, you could have all the spells in the game on a warrior if you give them enough magic points in magic.
Oh, okay.
So they start with different base stats.
Kind of like you would in any other like role-playing game where you can pick stats.
So like the warrior has more strength, the rogue has more dexterity, and the wizard has more magic. But
have you ever played a game where like you just fucked with it and made like your warrior a mage?
Kind of. It's hard to because of the starting stats and it gets weird, but it's neat. It's so different than Diablo 2 and worrying about like your builds. And also like the items are almost just all blue items. Like you're not really there are no sets.
Okay.
There's very few like rare item or unique items or whatever, except the ones that you get in quests that you get all the time. And it's just weird. It's so different that it's cool to go back and play that and compare it to the others and go like, wow, it went from this thing to this.
Yeah, because like Diablo 2 and 3 aren't that different from each other.
3 is more a like streamlined 2.
Yeah.
With and upgraded quality of life things like, oh, I found this item that does cool shit for this other skill. Cool, let me just go change my skills. Where 2 was like, for a long while, it was, you were stuck. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, those are the sort of things you learn after a game runs for as long as 2 did.
I feel like they added respecking classes or your abilities into it like 7 years into that game.
Oh yeah, we were not in high school anymore when that happened.
I feel like it was like 2008 when you could fucking reassign stat points.
It may have been, because I think that was around the time that WoW let you do it too.
And then also, like, you got to do it 4 times on a character.
Yeah, I remember, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure WoW let you start doing that right around that time too, because I was working at Circuit City at the time. Okay. And I kind of remember, like, you could pay, like, a certain amount of gold to respec your character.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Diablo 1's weird and cool, and you should play it. The PS1 version's surprisingly good.
Yeah, that game in general, just, like, that series works well on a controller for whatever reason.
But also think about it, the PS1, like...
Yeah, there weren't... Yeah.
It's not an analog game. Like, you can play on a fucking D-pad.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, actually.
Like, it's a fucking real weird... like, you essentially use the mouse or the D-pad as the mouse. And, like, Diablo 3 has, like, the 6 set skills, which map well to a controller.
Yeah.
Diablo 1, your left button is just always attack, and then right, you're like scrolling through item or your different spells you've unlocked.
Oh,
and
okay.
So like, it's fucking real weird to play that game on a controller, but it still worked all right.
Yeah, that's back in the era where like they were putting those PC games on console, but didn't really know how to fully integrate it. Because like Command and Conquer was on console, on PS2 one also.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's a mouse peripheral specifically for the Command and Conquer.
I think you're right.
But I wonder if that worked. I don't know. You didn't need it, but they did put one out. I wonder if that works with Diablo. I'll bet not, but it would be interesting. But yeah, Diablo 1 on controller is weird. It also literally takes an entire PS1 memory card for one save.
Oh, wow.
So I'm pretty sure if you're playing 2-player, you need 2 memory cards.
Yeah, because what were the PS1 memory cards? 8 meg?
No, I think the PS2 memory cards are 8 meg.
I thought PS2 were 16.
Maybe you're right. I don't remember.
I have a couple sitting on a shelf at home. I'll have to look.
It's 15 blocks. I could tell you that. Something like that.
Yeah, no, that's right, because you had like 15 saves on like a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you actually like loaded it up without a disc in, you would see all of the individual blocks where everything was saved. That's nuts. I didn't realize it would be a full memory card.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it takes the whole memory card.
Jeez. Anyway, there's still some like movie, TV related stuff.
Sure.
You are not going to care about a lot of this though.
Probably not.
I thought this was a little strange though. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. got renewed for season 6.
Huh.
Like we've known that it's half a season though. It's 12 episodes instead of 22.
Okay.
So not quite half. It's not going to premiere until next July though.
Weird.
Yeah.
So it's not in this fall
or
winter.
or winter. Like this past season premiered in December, I believe, because they ran Inhumans first.
Right.
This season is not going to come out until July of 2019, according to a bunch of sources, though.
Huh.
Which kind of coincides with its past the movies.
Right.
So by the time that premieres, Infinity War 2, whatever they're going to call it, will have come out in the theaters, and that gives it like a couple month breathing room. Mm-hmm. Where you have to assume that movie, even if it's not a direct tie-in, is going to have some sort of repercussions in it. Just because, spoilers if you haven't seen Infinity War, half the universe dies. Or at least gets blinked out of existence temporarily.
Yeah.
And because you definitely don't watch S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore, right?
No.
At the end of this season, like the last 2 episodes, they were making references to what was happening in Infinity War while they were dealing with their side of the catastrophe.
Okay.
So, like, they had their own bullshit going on with aliens. Meanwhile, like, you heard, like, people referencing and news reports about, aliens attacking Wakanda and all this sort of other stuff going on. So, it's known that's happening, but kind of like, did you see Ant-Man yet?
No, we didn't.
All right, I don't want to spoil Ant-Man then, but it's kind of like an Ant-Man where, like, by the end of the movie, you understand where it falls and why the character is not really involved in the movie. But yeah, so I'm hoping that's the case, though. And it's not just getting shoved into summer because they don't know what else to do with it and they're just kind of going to burn it off.
Yeah.
But ABC is apparently also in talks for another Marvel show.
Well, they theoretically will have the X-Men soon, so...
That's true, but I feel like The Gifted will probably stay at Fox.
Maybe.
Wait, that's right, because Fox would keep their broadcast network.
Right.
I guess it depends on contracts and all. Like, I'm sure they could still... Because you figure TV shows on a network don't necessarily mean that network makes them.
Well, what night of the week is The Gifted on right now?
I don't know.
Well, because also remember that this time next year, Fox will no longer have Friday nights.
Why?
SmackDown.
Oh, I forgot that was going to Fox next year.
Yeah, that's taking their entire Friday night primetime slot. That's taking the 8 to 10.
I thought Last Man Standing was going to be at Fox on Fridays.
I mean, maybe this year.
Oh, right. That's not until 2020.
Yeah, 2020 or 2019.
Right, because this is 2018. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because when I saw Last Man Standing's thing, it's like there was a preview for it on TV where it said like Fridays this fall. So yeah, it'll probably be Fridays this year, and then it'll move to something else if they renew it again. But yeah, I want to say The Gifted is on like Monday or Tuesday right now, unless it's getting moved around with the new season.
Okay. And it's October of next year. WWE goes to Fox on Fridays.
Okay.
So yeah. And then Fox also has Thursday Night Football starting this year. So really, like their fall season, they only have 3 nights. They only have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Wow, that's kind of crazy. But I mean, makes sense too, because I'm sure at least some of their properties are going to go to other Disney-owned...
Yeah.
Or just get canceled outright. But I know a lot of shows don't necessarily fall on the station that owns them, technically.
Also true.
I forget what show it was. I want to say it was Timeless. It's an NBC show about time traveling.
Okay.
It was actually an interesting show. It got canceled. I believe it was a CBS production, though.
Weird.
So CBS made it, NBC aired it, NBC canceled it, CBS then shopped it around to try and get another network to pick it up.
Yeah, that stuff's weird.
Yeah. Because I guess, like, CBS Network and CBS, like, Studios aren't the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, The Gifted The Gifted is definitely a Fox property, so it's made by Fox.
Right.
But it might still stay on their broadcast network just based on, like, they're going to just have to pay Disney the rights to it, essentially. But yeah, ABC doing another Marvel show just seems weird because they're burying Shield. Inhumans completely tanked. Like, nobody liked that show. And the one show people were kind of interested in, I think it was supposed to be called like Marvel's Most Wanted or whatever, with the two characters from S.H.I.E.L.D. that they wrote off for the spinoff.
Okay.
They just never made.
Weird.
And Agent Carter was generally like, it didn't have like the ratings, but neither did S.H.I.E.L.D. at the time. But it was always well received, and they canceled that. So it's like they want a show, but they don't know. Like, they want a show, but they want that show to be better, like do better in the ratings than it's going to. And yeah. So there was also last week we talked that CW cast their Batwoman,
right,
in Ruby Rose. She was then harassed so much on the internet that she deleted her Twitter account.
Yep.
Because people are fucking monsters.
That they are.
Like, I mean, like I said last week, like, I don't particularly like her. Like her acting anyway. Like, the only thing I've seen her on was Orange is the New Black, and I didn't like her character very much. Like, I didn't think she was very good in it. Like, that doesn't mean that she could, like, she might do really well in this role. I don't know. But, like, I'm not going online and, like, bashing her and, like, tweeting directly at her that she sucks and she should go kill herself so she can't be on the role. Like, that's fucking... Why? Why is the internet like that?
'Cause they're fucking miserable people.
And, like, I think what makes it even a little worse is there was another article that came out prior to this where I guess she was on Jimmy Kimmel talking about, like, getting the role, and she's legitimately, like, excited for the role.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, apparently... She is in a movie that just came out, and I can't think of the movie. But she had to do, like, the red carpet for it the day she found out. Like, hours after she found out that she got the role. And she was too excited about that to even, like, deal with, like, people on the red carpet asking her questions and not just blurt it out. And then went on in, like, the Jimmy Kimmel interview to say, like, she's excited to be able to, like, go visit, like, children's hospitals in, like, costume and, like... nice things for people. Meanwhile, like, the internet's like bashing her. Like, the fuck is wrong with people? But yeah, that kind of makes me. I hope after something like that she comes out and actually like nails the part, and then people just do a complete 180. Because like that's like the best case scenario there.
Yeah.
Let's see what else was worth talking about. So did you see Sonic got a voice?
I did. I don't remember who it is.
Ben Schwartz. Mr. Jean Ralphio from Parks and Rec. Which, if it's not Jaleel White, I am okay with him being the voice of Sonic. Not that I have any intention whatsoever of going to see this movie.
Oh, God, no.
I mean, what is it? It's Jim Carrey is Robotnik.
Oh, fuck, right. I forgot about that.
Cyclops is in it as who knows what. Random douchebag on the street, I guess. It's a shame, like...
Knuckles. He'll be Knuckles, watch.
No, like, he is actually himself.
Oh, okay. He's a human?
Like, he is James Marsden in it. Which, he is probably a perfectly nice human, but man, does he only ever play dicks in movies and stuff. Yeah, I guess there was, like, photos taken, like, set photos, where, like, he is standing on the side, and for whatever reason, Sonic is driving an SUV.
Of course.
Like, he's the fastest thing alive. Why the hell does he need to drive an SUV?
Why not?
I already hate this movie. It's not even out yet. The only other, like, real worthwhile movie thing I found was, Sony canceled the, hang on.
Bless you.
Thank you. Sony canceled their Silver and Black movie, the Silver Sable Black Cat movie.
Oh.
And decided to just make it 2 individual solo movies instead.
Oh. Okay, sure.
Like, they are going super hard in this Spider-Man universe they're trying to do that's not part of the MCU, which means Spider-Man probably isn't ever going to be in any of them.
Right.
Because then they have to somehow explain how, like, Spider-Man is over here fighting Venom, but Venom isn't part of the MCU. I hate movies.
Yep.
And then the last thing that I found, it's another thing that you definitely have no real care for. DC finally thought about something when they did a comic book.
Oh.
So they're relaunching Supergirl.
Okay.
After it got canceled like 4 months ago. But at least they're not renumbering it. It picked back up from the number that it left off on.
Sure. Okay.
Which, that's a step in the right direction. But so they're taking Supergirl and she is leaving Earth. Like she's going out into space to try and figure some stuff out.
Okay.
It ties into like the Superman story that they had going on prior to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much you know about Superman's family of characters, Superboy, Supergirl. They are powered by Earth's yellow sun.
Yeah, okay. I knew that. I know that much.
The further they are from Earth's yellow sun, or if they're on, say, a planet with a red sun, they lose their powers.
Right.
So they gave her a new suit that is basically a solar battery.
Okay. Sure.
Like, they have a story, and the story makes sense for her to leave Earth. Like, it actually works for the story. But then it was inevitably going to be she leaves Earth and then keeps her powers the whole time wearing just her normal, like, red skirt, blue shirt, cape.
Right.
And then it's like, how come every planet in the solar system has a yellow sun for her to stay super with? By doing this, at least it's like, all right, anytime she is in the vicinity of a yellow sun, her suit is going to store that up and just keep feeding it into her cells, basically. It's basically like a tanning bed. Or a tanning suit.
Sure.
Which, like, it's...
Sure.
It is stupid and super comic booky, but at least they looked at it and are like, all right, we need a way for this to work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the suit's actually kind of cool looking.
Okay.
Which, like, helps. Like, it's not just the standard red and blue that, like, those characters always are. It's got, like, some black and stuff in it. And it actually looks like a suit that somebody should wear when they're going out into space to fight aliens.
Okay.
It's not Supergirl wearing boots and a skirt. Like, that doesn't make sense on Earth, let alone in space. But yeah, that's all the news. Was there anything else that you had?
Some librarian in Utah embezzled $89,000 to spend on Game of War.
That's impressive. Why did a library have that much money?
No idea.
Did you know some libraries places actually have like video games that you can check out?
Apparently.
Do you see that on Facebook, like on groups and stuff?
No. I think I saw it once come up in a group somewhere or something like that. I was like,
I just saw it on a Facebook group. I don't know where this library was. I think it was out near like Pittsburgh or something.
Interesting.
Where like they had almost the entire Switch library that you could like check out at your local library.
Damn.
And, like, I'll see a lot of people talk about, like, they have, like, movies, and they even have digital movies you can rent somehow. Like, that's weird, since when do libraries have things other than books?
I had known about them having movies.
I did not.
Some even do, you can basically borrow ebooks. Like...
Almost like the Kindle lending library?
Yeah. Like, you can link up an account with a library card or something, like, somehow you link your Kindle to a library's account or whatever, and you can download books.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, good on libraries for, like, trying to stay relevant in this age when who reads physical books anymore, unfortunately.
Right.
Like, I only read, like, I have 2 Kindles. Like, I literally only read ebooks. I actually I have some physical books that people have given me that I have then had to turn around and buy a digital copy of because... Like, I don't want to have to, like, carry a physical book around. And, like, if I want to read before bed, have an actual light on. That's going to make it harder to fall asleep afterwards. Like, just having, like, the Kindle with, like, the backlight is perfect. Does exactly what I need it to. I turn it off and it's dark. I don't have, like, that whole room lit up. If Erica's also trying to go to sleep, I don't have to worry about the light keeping her up. It's nice. Technology's cool.
And you know what? Books are fucking heavy.
They can be.
You get enough books and you try to move them, fuck that noise.
Yeah, that's why I stopped, like, I still buy some physical comics, but I basically only read them digitally. Just, it's easier. I can read them anywhere I want, and I don't have to carry them around. Like, when I had to go to DC for work last week, I had my tablet with my comics on it.
Yeah.
I sat there and I read comics on the train. I would have had to have, like, I probably read 20 comics on the train. I would have had to have 20 comics shoved into my bag and carry them around Washington, D.C. with me had I wanted to do that without a tablet.
And, you know, they could get crushed in the bag and fucked up, like...
Yeah, if it rained, like, they're in bag, they would be bagged and boarded, but they could still get wet.
Yeah.
And even then, like, if I had trades, they wouldn't be bagged and boarded. Like, pages can get ripped and stuff in the bag. It would just be a mess.
Yeah.
It would be a mess.
Exactly.
But yeah, that is the news.
Yep.
So I guess let's talk about some of the stuff we've done this week.
Sure.
Do you want to go ahead and start?
Oh, sure. I got into that Command and Conquer. Did I talk about that last week? I couldn't remember if I was into that last week.
No, that was you told me on Saturday.
Right. So yeah, I finally got the Command and Conquer beta. Although I think it's 1.0 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was an update today, and I believe it's 1.0. I believe it is out of beta and may be available for everyone now.
I'm going to open it up and find out.
It's going to probably yell at you and be like, hey, we updated.
Update required.
That game's fine.
The Play Store doesn't want to load it, though.
Yeah, it did that to me, too.
I'm not that worried about it. I don't plan on playing the game anymore, so...
If you really want to update it, just go to your games and go to your apps
tab. And update it that way.
Update there, and it works. Why the fuck it didn't work in the other way, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really enjoy it that much, so it's not like I plan on playing it.
Yeah, no, it's slightly more involved version of Clash Royale.
Clash Royale.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to tell you guys initially, and Rich was like, no, this is the best game ever.
No, it's super like Clash Royale that has cards that you level up by feeding them more of the same card and using in-game currency.
Yeah.
Really the only thing it does differently than Clash Royale is you have control over your units after you set them down.
Oh, yeah, that's true. In Clash Royale, you kind of did just drop them and they just went.
Clash Royale, you picked where you dropped them, but once they dropped, they went in a straight line.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Actually, no, I think you could tap them and then point them at a target.
No, they would just attack the first thing that was in front of them.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different game then.
Maybe.
Because was Clash Royale the one where it was you had 3 towers, your enemy had 3 towers, and like you were in the middle tower of each?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it was? You could attack the other towers, too.
Yeah.
Like if you had weapons. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, no, there was definitely a way to take out the middle tower without taking out the other 2, and that was how.
Well, yeah, you would have to... You had to take out at least one other tower.
Yeah, and then drop the enemies on... Or drop your guys on that side so they would go to that one.
Yep.
But if you had enough attacks in a row, you could take out that middle tower.
Yeah, and not have to take out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
It's been a long time since I played any of that.
Yep. It makes me just want a real Command and Conquer game.
Yeah, like I would definitely be more interested in trying like a real Command and Conquer than playing a tower defense game.
Yeah.
Like not exactly a very interesting tower defense game either.
No. Most aren't, to be honest.
That is true.
But that's been most of what I've been playing. I've been watching the Exquisite Core on Giant Bomb. H1Z1's out of beta on PS4 and has like their battle pass stuff in it now and added a couple new guns. That's about it.
You haven't done much.
No. One of these weeks I might get Dead Cells on Friday. Play that.
I would say do that. It seems like people are really enjoying it.
I'll probably get it on PC so I can play it back here.
Nah, play it. Get it on PS4 so you have to take over the TV to play it.
Nah. I mean, see, I could get it on PC and then Steam link it out to my TV in the living room if I really felt like it.
I always forget you have
that would probably run fairly well over a Steam link.
Yeah, most likely.
Shit, it's a game that can run on my 6.5-year-old PC, so
that's fair too. So
I'm above minimum specs on that game.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I mean, the little bit I've seen of it, it doesn't look like it really requires a whole lot to run. I mean, your PC is probably about as powerful as a Switch, and it runs on the Switch.
Switch might... maybe.
I'd say they're probably close to the same.
Probably.
At least in handheld mode, where it has less power to run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've done anything else, really.
All right. It's going to be a quick episode.
Sure is.
I've actually done more.
Okay.
I played more Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to actually learn how to play. It's not going super well,
mm-hmm.
but I'm trying, and I'm getting better. I can actually, 1 in 5 times, I can pull off an actual combo.
Okay, cool.
Nothing crazy the way you'd see people online do it, where they get a 50-hit combo without any sort of auto stuff
mm-hmm.
or big special. But like I can get up to like a 12-hit combo.
Nice.
It's weird. It's all about not really using like the heavy attack.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically do light, medium, and then button mash heavy for like a second. Because what happens is like light, medium, heavy ends up being like one sort of like half combo. And then if you mash heavy at the end of that, the heavy knocks the person against the side of the screen.
Sure.
When you mash it, no matter where you're at, you charge them at the same time.
Ah.
So that keeps your combo going.
Gotcha.
And then from there, if you just keep alternating light, heavy, while also doing diagonal up jumps, you keep pushing the person into the air as you keep hitting them.
Okay.
And then like at a certain point, you'll get to a point where like you can't keep it up anymore.
Right.
And you can transition into either like one of your supers.
Okay.
Or into just some sort of like downward attack. Like I want to say it's up heavy when you're in the air actually does a downward attack. Like you, at least for like Goku, who's the pretty base character, Super Saiyan Goku.
Right.
While in the air, up and heavy does like a downward kick on like the person's head. So it just shoots them into the ground afterwards, and then you go right down behind them. Mm-hmm. So it kind of gives you that little bit of extra room to maneuver afterwards.
Cool.
But I'm still not very good.
Yeah.
I can last longer in an online match.
Well.
I still lose.
Uh-huh.
But the couple that I've done online, I have managed to take out as many as 2 of their guys.
There you go.
I had one match where I actually had them down to the last guy with about half health.
Oh.
But I was also down to... I had 2 people left, but one of them was half health and the other one was even less. So it was basically their guy came out, killed my one that was almost done, and then I just could never get like a good run going with the one I had left, and they took me down.
Yeah.
But it was still like... It feels nice to see a little improvement.
Yeah.
Especially in something like that, where like fighting games are really hard to get competitive at.
Yeah.
Especially like online competitive, because it's not like you can see the person and make any sort of like judgment on what you think they're going to do. Mm-hmm. Like, I have no idea if somebody's going to keep guarding or if they're going to attack or what.
Yeah. And fighting games are a genre I always want to get into, but just never, like, no one else really of our friend group really play them, and I don't want to just jump online and get my ass kicked.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, I probably should have bought an MKX by now, but I haven't because I'm not going to fucking play single player.
Yeah, like that's the one thing I like. So the story for Dragon Ball FighterZ, pretty standard Dragon Ball. Like it's not great,
right,
but it's Dragon Ball, and I enjoy that enough that it's fun to go through the story. I'm to the point with it where the actual fights, I skip most of them. Like, I just beeline right for, like, either... So generally, when the map opens up, there'll be, say, 8 fights available, and you can only move one spot at a time. So, like, you kind of just move in whatever direction you want, and you can either hit as many of the fights as you want, or as few as possible. With, like, the amount of turns that you get. Like, you get, like... Right now, I get around 19 moves every map.
Okay.
And there's generally some sort of boss fight, which is indicated on the map. And a lot of times there's at least one hostage friend that you have to rescue. Mm-hmm. So I will usually go right for either the hostages or the boss, depending on what's available, and just get through the match and move on to the next one. Mm-hmm. Just because, like, all of those matches are super easy. Like, it's usually the boss fights give you a little bit of challenge, but everything else is just... Like, you get in there, you just button mash and win. Like, you don't actually have to try. And the computer is so bad in that mode that when you do try, the matches are just over right away and you haven't really gotten anything out of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't sound useful.
But it's at least... It's a little nice if you want to try and practice, like, dodging and blocking. It's like, it's actually hard to block well. Mm-hmm. So, like, knowing that they're going to be attacking you a little unorthodoxy, like, you can kind of, like, you can sacrifice 2 of your guys and know you're still going to make it through the fight. So, like, you can go in there with, like, 2 of, like, your shitty characters and just practice, like, blocking and jumping over attacks and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Let them get knocked out and then just come in with, like, your good one and wipe out their team and move on.
Yeah.
But they also have the arcade mode that's actually really good.
Okay.
So, like, the arcade mode is still single player.
Right. But
it's fun. It's challenging. There's a reward to doing it, because if you get... if you play through the two paths and get like a certain score at the end of it, that's how you unlock Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta, and Goku.
Okay.
Without paying for them anyway.
Right.
And then there's like the training mode that lets you like practice all this stuff too. You can just go into like a blank training mode, and they have all the nice tools where you can have like a controller on screen, so you can actually look and see what button presses are registering as you go. And you can
That's always helpful.
You can also have it where it shows all of your button presses along the side as you're going.
Okay.
So like, and they'll stay there. The control on the screen is literally just, all right, if I'm hitting these, it's actually registering as like up on an angle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's helpful too, because then you can make sure that, you know, especially if you're trying to use like the analog stick, since the PS4 D-pad's not great. At least not great for fighting games, just because
most people would argue with you on that.
I don't like it. I don't like because I have trouble hitting the angles with it. So like a fireball motion's easy. Like that works fine because it's two separate buttons essentially. But the doing like the up angled jumps it's harder because you actually have to have your thumb hit both of them at the same time. It's not just like rolling across them. But like using the analog stick, you can do that really easily. So I've been like, I swap a lot. Like I'll use the D-pad for the actual fighting, and then if I have to jump, I use my thumb to just like knock the analog stick up into the corner. Which probably isn't the best way to do it, but it works, and that's been how I've gotten the better combos. Because when I try to just do it with the D-pad, it never quite works. Like I'll either do like a jump straight up, or it'll jump off to the right, and I did try it on Switch because the beta was on Switch this weekend, and I did a little better on that with the analog stick, since it's actually offset. So like your thumb sits on the analog stick a little more naturally on the Switch.
Right.
And the Pro controller has like a standard D-pad on it. So like it's actually like a plus symbol. So I was using that, and that I was more accurately hitting those angled jumps than I had been on the PS4's D-pad. But yeah, so I'm probably going to keep kind of bouncing to that and just practicing and trying. I know I'm never going to be good, but I'd like to at least win a match online someday.
Yeah.
I also started playing Assassin's Creed Origins.
Okay.
I bought it like 3 months ago on like a sale for like $25 or something. And it's been just sitting on the PS4 because I downloaded it after I bought it. I was kind of like looking at what I had installed, and I'm like, I'm going to try this out. I started it on Sunday when Erica went Pokemon hunting with Sarah.
Right.
And it was actually, it is better than I remember Assassin's Creed's ever being.
Okay.
It only feels like Assassin's Creed in so much as it just looks like an Assassin's Creed. I haven't played one since 4, and even then, like, I didn't play a whole lot of 4 because I did not like it. But I played everything before that. So 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, and 3. I played all of them through to completion. This one, like, combat's totally different. Mm-hmm. It actually has combat. And you're not an assassin. Like, you're a magi. And it's one of those... You at least played the first Assassin's Creed, didn't you? Or at least a little bit of it?
I played a little bit of 2, actually.
All right.
I never played the first one.
So in the first one, they do that classic, like, the game starts out and you are super badass.
Okay.
And then you fuck up and immediately lose all of your badass.
Right.
Because apparently that character is only as good as his gear. In this one... You kind of start out as a badass and just stay there.
Interesting.
Because, like, you're already a magi. So, like,
right.
I don't have to learn how to be better at things. But as you progress, you just get stronger and better weapons. Because it very much has, like, the RPG curve of you level up, you get new gear. New gear has better stats. Those stats let you take enemies out quicker. Enemies also have levels and all that fun stuff. Mm-hmm. And, like, a lot of your skill points will go into... either passive abilities where like you loot people as soon as you kill them, or you get sleep darts or fire bombs, like skills that like actually unlock things like that. Or there's a section of charging up your attack. So like your heavy attack, if you hold the button for it and then let it go, it's more powerful than it would have been just tapping it. But that is a huge game.
Yeah.
Like people always said it was big. And so, like, I get into, like, the opening area, and I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, this game is really big. Like, it's taking me forever to run from here to here just to get this the synchronization point. And then I happen to, like, zoom out in the map, and I am in what appears to be the smallest section of the map.
Fun.
I see why it takes people like hundreds of hours to like 100% this game. Because like, it might have one of the biggest maps I remember ever seeing in a game. Whether all of it actually becomes available to you or not is one thing, but judging by like what I have like as my starting area, like it's fucking massive. But like in a good way, like there's a lot to do on the map, but at least I haven't left the starting area yet. I took care of my first assassination, which happened by mistake. Or maybe not mistake, but it did not happen the way I expected it to, and I thought I just fucked up. I snuck into the base, and you know how... So, you played all the Uncharted's at least, right?
Yeah.
So, you know in Uncharted 4 when you could, like, whistle to get guys to come over so you could ambush them?
Sure.
Same thing in this game.
Okay.
You crouch in the grass, you whistle, guy comes over, you ambush them. So, the guy I was trying to kill was in a group of guards, and they were walking. So, I kind of sneak up in the grass, and I whistle, thinking that, like, I'll get one of the guards to come over.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking guy comes over. I didn't realize it. Just the game does a weird thing when you have people marked on the map, and it makes them shiny, and then you can't really tell who they are.
Okay.
So he comes over. I take him down, which the takedown isn't even. I can't kill anybody with a takedown yet. Like when I take him down, I basically flip them and then punch them in the face, and they just sit there writhing on the ground. I'm not 100% sure if they'll get back up, so I've just been killing them immediately after. Like I just take out the sword and just slash them until they're dead. So I flip this guy, all the guards rush at me, and I just start hacking away. In the process, I slash the guy that I flipped over, it kills him, and immediately goes to a cutscene.
Nice.
And I'm like, oh, I must have fucked up. I guess I couldn't alert them, and now the guy got away, and I'll have to reload. And then it loads into the rest of this cutscene, and it's that traditional, like, Assassin's Creed, like, you just assassinated one of the targets, so it does, like, the weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes even weirder and does, like, a flashback. And you find out why your character is trying to kill this, like, list of guys that he has.
Okay.
Which, do you know anything about Origin?
No, not really.
So, you're a magi in Egypt.
Right.
And
that's about as much as I knew.
And this group of false oracles or false prophets or something like that kidnaps your son, tries to use your son as leverage to tell them how... Do you remember the Apple of Eden thing from one of the Assassin's Creeds?
Vaguely.
I'm pretty sure it's that. If it's not that, it's something that looks very much like that.
Okay.
Like, it's probably another piece of Eden. And they're basically trying to force you to tell them how it works because you're a magi and you should know because, like, you're the Pharaoh's right-hand man or whatever. And in the process, you end up killing your own son.
Oh, jeez.
Like, totally by accident, you are trying to stop the bad guys, the bad guy sidesteps you, and you stab your son in the heart. And I guess at that point, you fucking lose it. You go on your vengeance thing, and you're gone for at least a year. When you come back to the town, like, you meet up with a friend, and he's happy to see you, and everybody's really happy to see you. But, like, these guys have now, like, kind of, like, taken over.
Okay.
So, I'm going to be traveling the Egypt, like, hunting them down.
Gotcha.
And I guess in every area, they are kind of in charge.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the place where, like, you're from is kind of shitty now because, like, these soldiers are just scumbags and they just burn things down if they don't like you. And, like, not just your house, they'll literally burn your entire neighborhood down if you do something wrong. But yeah, I've probably only played maybe 3 or 4 hours so far. But I've cleared out the entire area, like the entire starting area of everything I can do on the map, except for one thing. I went there to do it before I came over here, actually, and do you remember how they always had eagle vision?
Yeah.
So, I have not found eagle vision yet. I don't know if that's something I unlock later. Instead, you straight up just have an eagle. And he might actually be a Hulk or something.
Right.
But instead of, like, just seeing the stuff and getting everything's highlighted, you hit up on the D-pad and you literally just transfer into an eagle and fly around and can target people with the eagle and he'll mark things for you.
Okay.
So, like, he'll mark animals to kill, he'll mark enemies and show you what level they are, any sort of objective targets he'll mark, as long as you zoom in on them, basically.
Okay.
Same thing for, like, treasures. He'll help you find treasures. So I did that to this area, and all the guys came up with red skulls over their head.
Oh, boy.
And then I get a tooltip. It's like, enemies' levels are above their head. If it's a red skull, it means they're too strong for you right now. You should come back later. I'm like, fair. I'm going to leave and come back later. But it's, so far, it is better than Assassin's Creed has been in a long time from what I hear. Like, Black Flag, I did not like any part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I know people love the boat stuff. I never found that fun, and the rest of the game was just follow missions, and those were always the worst part.
Yep.
Especially when it's a follow mission in a fucking boat. That's where the game lost me.
Gotcha.
I did a follow mission that took me like 8 tries because it was a really shitty follow mission. And then the very next mission is like, all right, this guy got away from you, so now you have to follow him in a boat into a storm. It's like, nope, fuck it, I'm done. Don't need to play this game. It's not good anyway. I'm still waiting to see what the present day piece is, because I know there is one.
Mm-hmm.
I know people are kind of down on it, but it sounds like it's at least better than what the last few games have been, where you're just like an Abstergo employee or something like that. But yeah, so I will probably have a lot of that game to play. Because when I looked it up on how long to beat, it's 27 hours to just mainline the story, and then like 97 to do like not even complete it. Like 97 is like the average for like everything else. I also read 2 things.
Well, quickly, I did remember one more thing I played.
Okay, cool.
I played a little bit of Absolver.
Okay. How is it?
I don't know. It's interesting.
In a good way or a bad way?
I'm not sure yet. So it's like the best comp I could make is it's hand-to-hand For Honor.
Okay.
Like it kind of has it has a stance system like For Honor does, but that is not directly tied to your guarding, unlike in For Honor.
Okay.
But it also it has drop in, drop out online, like, or actually, it's more like Destiny's online. Like, you'll run into an area and other humans will be there.
Okay.
And they can either just fuck with you, or they can send you an invite to do co-op and help you along, or whatever. I think so I got through the first, like, intro area where there is no online, like, it's just you by yourself. I guess you might be able to invite people in.
Okay.
But I didn't see any other human players while I was there. Get to an area, and then I think I went to an area that was a higher level area than I should have gone to, but it doesn't tell you which way to go. Like, I had 3 options of ways to go, and I was like, let me just go left. And everything that I was fighting there was killing me super fast.
Nice.
So I'm like, was I not supposed to go this way? Like,
that happened to me with Dragon Age Inquisition.
Okay.
Like, you start that game, and where your quest is, you head towards it, but to get there, everyone's 20 levels higher than you. It's like, the fuck is wrong with this game?
Yeah, and just, I didn't feel compelled to keep playing it. Like, there seemed to be very little story going on. There's no voice acting in the actual game.
Oh, okay.
Like, the couple NPCs I've seen just have text dialogue boxes, and I don't remember there really being voiceover in the opening cutscene either. So I don't know. I might actually restart it just to rewatch the opening cutscene to be like, okay, what is going on? The combat's interesting, and it's definitely going to take a while to like lock down on, because it's 2-button. Basically, it's square and triangle.
Okay.
Square is your regular attack. Triangle is like your stance change attack. I think they all wind up like kind of putting you back to the default, whatever your default stance is, but it'll be like a jumping spin kick or like a back elbow or something like that puts you back to default.
Okay.
And then you can chain combos out of that, and you use L2 and the right analog stick to change stances like on the fly. It's weird.
It sounds it.
Yeah. But, and then it's got, like, Diablo-style loot. Like, you're picking up items on the way that have stats and rarities and whatnot. A little bit of character customization.
Wasn't that a PS Plus game?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah.
I never played it, but I remember downloading it.
Yeah.
Or at least purchasing it.
Mm-hmm. So I would like to... I'll probably restart it to rewatch that opening cutscene. I might restart it to watch the opening cutscene and then reload my original character.
Just so you kind of know what's going on and why you're doing what you're doing.
And then try to get back to that first, like, hub direction and figure out if it told me which way I was supposed to go and I just ignored it.
I'm gonna guess you probably
That's
ignored it.
It's possible, but I sort of remember it saying like, you got to take out these 3 dudes. They're these ways. Go ahead. And
I mean, if they're in 3 different directions, maybe one of those directions is not shitty.
yeah, it's quite possible.
Yeah, like maybe you're supposed to go up and not down.
Yeah.
And down is actually the 3rd one you go to because that path is the hardest.
100% possible that I did that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
That's good.
You know, the combat's a little Batman-y. Like, it's kind of got that.
It kind of sounded like that when you said it was really just like 2 buttons.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you're using, like, circle to dodge. I think the right analog stick does parries.
Okay.
Yeah. That sounds right. Or it's block and the left analog stick, and you gotta, if you block the right direction as a punch is coming in or a kick is coming in, like, if you block that direction, you'll parry and stun them a little bit. Although I think there's 3 different classes that all have a different thing for that. Like, one has parry, one had something called absorb.
Which is probably you just taking a hit.
and maybe it gives you the health instead of you losing. I didn't read it. I was like, let me take the parry. That sounds like the most useful one. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I'll definitely give it at least one more shot before I either completely abandon it or
keep going.
Yeah. But it seems, I like how it looks.
I mean, that's always good for something, at least.
Yep.
Cool.
But yeah, okay. That was the only other thing I played.
Yeah, no. So, like I was saying, I read 2 things.
Okay.
One of them was Fantastic Four #1 from last week. Came out last Wednesday. I'm not the biggest Fantastic Four fan, but I like Dan Slott, and he's taking over, so I went to see kind of what he did. And it was good. It didn't quite... So, the only Fantastic Four members that are, like, known alive are Human Torch and Thing.
Okay.
After Secret Wars from a few years ago, everyone thinks that Reed, Sue, and their kids are dead.
Right.
When, like, anyone that read Secret Wars knows that they were literally out just rebuilding the multiverse.
Okay.
And, like, exploring, too, because their son is literally the strongest thing in the multiverse. He's a child, so he's not as strong as he will be. But he can literally make reality. Like, he actually made a pocket reality in his pocket once or something stupid like that. But it was interesting. Like, there was a good amount of emotion to it, because it was a lot of, like, the Thing and the Human Torch kind of coming to terms that, like, they're gone and they're not going to see them again. The weird thing is, there's another book right now called Marvel 2-in-1, which is the Human Torch and the Thing literally searching the multiverse trying to find their family. Thing knowing that they're quote-unquote dead, or at least thinking they are.
Okay.
And him lying to Johnny that, like, Reed wants them to come find them. He left this tool in case they were ever lost so that they could find them and bring them back. But they lost their powers in that book.
Oh.
And, like, they currently, like, they had been losing them since it started because they basically retconned it where their powers are kind of reliant on each other. If the 4 of them are separated the way they are right now, their powers just weaken and go away. So it hit the point in this 2-in-1 book where Thing is just Ben Grimm again and Johnny has no flame power. And they're stranded on another universe. That's where that book is right now. And then in this Fantastic Four #1, they're on Earth. They both have their powers. Ben is the Thing. Johnny has his flame powers. Like, they're, like, sad, but otherwise, like, everything's cool. Like, the book literally opens with Johnny at a baseball game and Ben is shopping with his girlfriend. Like, I don't understand how they can make those leaps. And, like, I get, like, at some point the Marvel 2-in-1 will catch up to that. And apparently this book literally released the same day that Fantastic Four #1 did back in 61.
Okay.
So, like, I understand trying to have that, like, legacy sort of thing going on.
Sure.
But, like, they've known Fantastic Four was coming for months. And that was months before they even announced it. Why wouldn't they have just worked it so that this 2-in-1 book lined up a little better with it? So people that read both of them aren't like, the fuck is going on? Like, how did they just suddenly have these powers again?
Yeah.
It was a decent book, though. I'll probably read at least a few more issues. I don't know if they just have never... Fantastic Four occasionally have, like, a really interesting story where, like, you're like, okay, that was good. But a lot of times they're just not really for me. The other thing is actually like a book.
Okay.
Like, it's all words, no pictures. It's by Charles Soule, though, who is a comic book writer.
Okay.
It's called The Oracle Year. It was on sale on Amazon a while ago, and I actually saw him tweet about it. It's like a normal like $10 book. It was digital was on sale for like $2.99.
Okay.
So I just bought it. I didn't even read the synopsis. I'm like, I'll buy it. I like the comics he writes. Like, he is a good writer.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'll give this a shot and see what it's like for $3. Why not? I am getting it from an unknown number.
Cool.
I get those all the time. It's super frustrating.
Yep.
But it's really interesting. So a guy he woke up one day and had a bunch of predictions in his head.
Okay.
And like wrote them all down, and he has been releasing them on the internet, like very secretively though. Like, no one knows who he is. And it's him and like a friend are the only two that know that he is this Oracle guy.
Mm-hmm.
And like the government's trying to find him. People like hedge funds are like literally paying him millions of dollars to answer questions that he normally can't answer. Like, I'm only maybe like 5 or 6 chapters in.
Okay.
One of the chapters was this weird secure chat online where these guys from a hedge fund were just asking him questions. They had 10 minutes. It cost them $10 million.
Jeez.
They asked like a dozen questions. He only knew anything about one of them. And it was like this obscure thing about like harvests in Florida. Because not all of them, but a lot of these predictions are super weird. Like, he knew that a lady was going to go buy chocolate milk on a certain day. And this other guy is apparently going to put pepper on his steak. And just like silly stuff like that. But then he also knows that winter's going to come early in Florida, or there's going to be like an early frost, and it's going to screw up like the oranges.
Okay.
And that was like one of the things these people wanted to know. And it made him like another like $120 million or something like that, because they had to pay extra for the rest of his answer, and then they had to pay him more to not tell anybody else about that answer. So far I haven't gotten to a point where like anything has backfired on him yet, but I feel like it's getting there.
Okay.
Like, shit is going to hit the fan, because there's already been a chapter where the FBI and CIA and stuff or FBI and NSA are looking for him, trying to figure out who he is. And now one of these like televangelist, like priest guys are trying to figure out who he is.
Okay.
Because that happens to be who the guy made the pepper on steak thing about.
Ah.
Because I guess he has been very outspoken about this guy being a false prophet and everything.
Sure.
So the guy that has all the predictions released the prediction about the guy who's like shit talking him.
Mm-hmm.
And now the guy who's shit talking him is going after him. But it's just, I don't know, it's different than a lot of the books I tend to read.
Mm-hmm. But
I'm enjoying it so far. And like I said, I'm only like 7 chapters in, so I still have quite a bit to go. It's like a 400-page book.
Okay.
I think the Kindle says I'm like 17% through it. But yeah, that's it. That is all I have also. So I guess that is a show.
Sounds like it.
That's a short show. Man, we get through a lot when Richie's not here to talk about Monster Hunter.
Right.
Anyway, if you'd like to find more of our shows, you can head over to www.one-quest.com. We are on social media, facebook.com/onequestonline. We are at @1_quest on Twitter and Instagram. You can help us out by supporting us over at patreon.com/onequest. You can find all of our podcasts on services like iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Spotify, or just about anywhere else you want to get podcasts. And if you could subscribe and like us and give us some like ratings on those things, that would be great. And you can always email us, social@one-quest.com. And that's it. We'll be back again next week with something else to talk about. Thanks.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.